I'm going to be honest here. I've spent years trying to find the secret into living a better life, into living the life of your dreams. And it wasn't until I discovered that there's no secret. I was looking for extraordinary things to do in my life so that my reality changed. But it wasn't the extraordinary things or massive big things that I was busy searching for. The answer was in the simplest things that I used to do, get bored along the way, and then just leave them and search for the next big thing or the next big habit. Which is why I have made this video today, where I'm going to be sharing with you things that I've done. And good news is you don't need money. So these are the things that I have done that have changed the trajectory of my life. I am living a life that I enjoy most of the time. I am content, though I'm still a big dreamer, though I'm still going after big things. But for now, I think I've discovered the secret into living a more fulfilling, meaningful life that makes sense to you. Number one, it's meditating, practicing mindfulness, sitting still and listening to my thoughts. For me, it's not just meditating, but for me, meditating is a form of prayer. It's when I am able to connect with my higher self. And when I connect with my higher self, I believe that I'm connecting to the higher power, which is my God. I am able to connect with the universe. I am able to connect with the infinite intelligence. I found that when I am meditating, I find a sense of calmness, a sense of groundedness, where I am grounded and I am present in the moment, and I am aware of where I am, of how I feel, and the thoughts that are dominating my mind. The second thing that I've done and that has changed my life is journaling. After I meditate and I find my thoughts and where I'm currently in a state of mind, then I take my journal and I write down. I write down what am I feeling, how am I feeling at that moment. It helps to clear your mind, and it also helps you to be aware of what you are thinking and where your mindset is at, and so that you are able to change if there's a need for you to change, especially if you are vibrating at your lowest frequency, to try and raise your frequency. Number three, practicing daily gratitude. This has really changed my life. I discovered that when I started being grateful, I started seeing more things that I have. I started realizing that I actually have a lot more than I thought, because I was so fixated on the things that I did not have, and therefore I could only see things that I do not have, instead of focusing on what I have already, being thankful for it, and just feeling content. Practicing daily gratitude is going to bring you that sense of calmness, because you never lack. It's scary once you start doing this. It's so scary that you do not lack and you find yourself being happy and joyful all the time, because you are no longer living in lack. Like, you have everything that you need, and it brings you that assurance that whatever it is that you do not have, it's still on its way, because the things that you have right now are things that you once did not have. Remember, where attention goes, energy flows. What you focus on expands. You don't want to give your attention to the things that you do not want, because that is where your energy is going to flow into, and it's not going to bring you anything good or anything fruitful. Nothing good is going to come out of it. Next is exercising. I do not regret the day I made a decision that I was going to make it my mission, my goal, to exercise 4 times a week. It has really changed my life. I have energy. I do not find myself too tired. Unlike before. Do I still get tired? Yes, I do, but it's not like before. And that is why it's so easy to be able to notice that, okay, I'm tired, I need to slow down, rather than being tired every day. There are people, even when they wake up in the morning, they are tired. You need to move your body. A healthy body is a healthy mind. So you can't have a healthy mind in an unhealthy body. Another best decision that I have made was deciding to eat healthy, being mindful of what I eat, not just eating to be full, but asking myself, what am I getting out of this? I no longer see food as just food. It's, what is this going to do for my body? What is it that I'm giving to my body? Am I taking proteins? So I'm no longer eating meat, but it's proteins. I need to eat more fruits. There are foods that I eat less of. Knowing what to eat less of and what to eat more of as being a game changer. It's not about getting into crazy diets, though I'm not saying there's anything wrong with that. It's actually right if that's your goal. But for me, it's just being mindful of what am I eating? What am I putting in my body, and not treating my body as a trash can. I've cut off on sugary foods. I've cut off on takeaways and junk food. I do meal preps on Sundays. I do meal preps. After this video, I'm doing meal prep from today, which is a Sunday, until Thursday. Food should give you energy, not the other way around. Next is self-care, showing up for myself, being there for myself, being everything that I ever wanted to myself. That is giving myself the respect, giving myself the love, giving myself the support, everything that I have ever found myself seeking from outside, from other people, I've decided to give to myself. And self-care is showing up for myself, is keeping the promises that I make to myself. It is filling my own cup and make sure that it's overflowing. Why? Because I want to be the best version of myself, so that not only for me, but also for people around me gets to experience that better version of myself. Self-care is non-negotiable. Self-care is very important. You find yourself lacking, you find yourself irritated, you find yourself not feeling content, having a void, it's because you're not giving to yourself all the things that you want. Instead, you're looking at it from the outside, you're looking at it from other people, but you can't want something that you are not. You can't want something that you do not have. And the trick here is, once you start giving yourself everything that you ever wanted from somebody else or anybody else, you will not even notice if they're not giving it to you, because you have given it to yourself and you have enough. It's sufficient for you. I've recently started this one, which is developing a morning and a night routine. I used to have a morning routine only, and it wasn't until I realized that how you start your day is as important as how you end your day. I used to scroll my phone until I feel sleepy, but now I no longer do. So I've found something to do to substitute that. That is, I will journal. I have a rule now that 30 minutes before I sleep, my phone is not on me. And it's no longer even 30 minutes. It has grown from 30 minutes to an hour. So an hour before I sleep, no phone. I'm journaling and I read until I feel sleepy. And it has really changed my sleeping patterns, and it has helped to better my sleep. The next one is reading. You need to read. Like, this can never be overemphasized. You need to read. You stop reading, you stop growing. Reading has a lot of benefits. Not only do you get knowledge from reading, but it helps your mind to be awake at all times. It helps you to be able to make informed decisions, because you're not just making a decision based on what you think may be right. When you are a reader, you become more focused, because reading requires you to focus. You read something and sometimes you don't understand, and you have to read it again in order for you to understand. And sometimes after reading that thing, you have to pause and you have to just try to digest what you've just read. It helps to improve not only your focus but your memory as well, and your analytical thinking. Next is setting goals. You need to have goals. You need to set yourself goals. Goals are like a magnet. They will pull you in their direction. Goals remind you of what you need to do today if you want to get to where you said you want to get to. So it's important that you set yourself goals so that you have something to work towards and you have something that you look forward to. Goals also bring meaning to your life because every decision, every choice that you make is guided by where you want to go. It is guided by the goals that you want to achieve. That is why you will find yourself making different choices than before because now you have goals. Instead of staying out late, you'd rather be at home working on that business idea, reading that book because you want to consume as much information as you possibly can because you have a goal that you need to crush. Setting goals will save you as well. Number 10 is limiting screen time. I used to scroll a lot, spend so much time on my phone watching videos. If you can limit the amount of time that you dedicate to your phone, to watching videos, going to help you allocate your time to other things. You find people saying, I do not have time. Yes, you do have time. Let's look at your screen time. How much do you spend a day on your phone? Just doing endless scrolling. Once you limit your screen time, a lot of time is going to open up for you to focus on other things. To start doing that thing that you said you're going to do, to start doing that thing that you said you do not have time for. It helps you to also realize your priorities and the things that need to get done. Because sitting there, just watching people, being inspired, and the more you spend your time on your phone is the more you find things that you do not have, watching other people living the life that you also want, and you start feeling behind and you start comparing yourself. And when you do that, you have lost the plot because that puts your life on hold while you're watching other people live their lives. Next one is very important. Every girl, every woman, every lady, this one is for you, and that is tracking your finances. That is budgeting, having a forecast on how your month is going to look like financially. Are you going to have enough? Once you take control of your finances, it gives you that sense of calmness and it will help boost your confidence. You know your finances, you know how much you have saved, you know that if there's an emergency, you are covered. The moment you decide that you are going to take charge of your finances is the day that you're going to take charge of your life, because money is also an important factor in our lives. It affects everything. Be on top of your money. Start now. Even if you're not working, you can budget even if you're not working. As long as there is money that you're going to be getting here and there, start there. You are building the discipline. And once you have the discipline, it's going to just change your life. Moving right along, the best thing that I ever did was choosing the type of content that I consume. I used to watch every other video that I used to come across on social media, and it wasn't until I became selective of the type of content that I wanted to watch. I used to watch a lot of people living their dream lives, people who were living the life that I also wanted, also liked, and also dreamt about. And it made me feel behind in life. It made me feel stuck, and it made me feel like a failure. Worst of all, I felt like a failure. And so I had to make a decision that I'm only watching content that is going to inspire me to get off my back and do what I need to do. The type of content that equips me with certain knowledge and change the way that I think and the way that I look at life and the way that I look at things. I'm not saying that you shouldn't watch content. Yes, you may. I still do watch the type of content where people are living their best lives because I draw inspiration. But now it's different. Now I draw inspiration. Back then, I used to feel like I was behind. I used to compare myself as well. And you don't choose this. And sometimes it's not out of jealousy. It just happens when you spend so much time watching people living their best life. You start feeling like you're behind and you start comparing yourself, and it's a disaster. Another best thing that I ever did for myself was to focus on myself. It was understanding that the only life that I have is this one. I'm never going to die and come back to tell it, hey, this is the life that I have, and I might as well give it all I can and focus on myself. I can't be focusing on other people. I don't know other people, and I shouldn't be even focusing on other people because my life is my responsibility. No one is going to save me. No one is going to live my life for me. So I need to live it for me the way that I love and the way that I feel is right for me. So it was focusing on myself. Where do I want to go? What do I want to achieve? What do I want out of this whole thing called life? Next, investing in my future self. That is, do not consume every cent that you get now. You need to keep some for your future self. And there's this level of confidence that you reach when you know that you've taken care of your future self. When you make decisions right now, ask yourself, will your future you be proud of yourself, or will it be disappointed? That is investing in your future self. That is making the decisions now that you're going to be proud of tomorrow. And last but not least was developing a hobby. This year, I decided that I was going to start swimming. I've been attending swimming lessons. Slowly but surely, I'm getting there. Before I enrolled, I asked myself, what is one thing that I'm most scared of? And that was water. I'm very scared of water. I am hydrophobic. And I said, I'm going to learn how to swim. I am tired of going and sitting by the pool, putting my feet on the water and nothing else happens after that. And I now look forward to Saturdays because it is when I go and attend my swimming lessons, and I'm now enjoying my Saturdays because I have something to look forward to. Though I started off a bit scared and skeptical, now I am starting to enjoy it because I can see that, oh, actually I can do this. So developing these side things, which we call hobbies, that make you enjoy life even more. Like I enjoy going to my singing lessons. I enjoy attending my singing lessons, and I look forward to developing other hobbies as well. It's not just going to be swimming. Like I want to enjoy life. Like what's the next thing? Maybe I'm going in for knitting. I want to make my own jerseys and my own scarves now. There are no limits but the ones that we put on ourselves. So go all out, go all in, give to yourself. And remember, the answer that you are looking for is in the smallest things that you keep avoiding, that you do and quickly get bored of doing. That is where the answer lies. Thank you so much for staying this far. I hope you find this video insightful. I hope to see you on the next one.